Greetings everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Weekly Challenges Guide. Now for those of you who are new to this series, or made a bit of a refresher, the Weekly Challenges are a set of 5 events that go live Thursday night, Friday morning, depending on your region. These usually consist of 4 events already in the game that you may need to unlock depending on your progress, while the 5th one is a special event that can take place as a time trial, a one-leg race, a mission challenge, whatever really comes up. So, let's get into it and see what this week brings us. So to kick things off, we have the Jimny Cup. This is a 3-lap race at Eiger, Nordwand, and of course consists of using either the Jimny XC or the Jimny Sierra JC models. Either one is compliant to use for this event. So I'm going to show off a recent build I did of my Sierra JC here and use that. Of course, I know it shows me using the comfort mediums there, but I quickly realized how terrible adaptation that was, so I'm on softer ones for this event. Anyway, turn 1 here, now the second. And I like to try to use the grass to turn the vehicle as possible, and kind of missed it there. But I found that this helps quite a lot trying to get through these turns. Let's go down to the second again for turn 3. And then get ready to aim it for 4. Try to get about 2 wheels like this. Accelerate right on out. Across the bridge here. Through 6. And at the 7. Down to second gear. Try to keep it about as close as possible to this white line. And accelerate right on out here. Get that turn going through 8. And this uphill section is slightly tricky there. So for safety, I try to go to 4th gear to get it through 9. But it's full throttle through 10, thankfully. And this one's going to be a little tricky, so I work right about here, that building. 2nd gear for 11, and I accelerate right here at that corner there. Give it a good downhill run, and that's a lap on Eiger Nordwand. And now, on to the race itself. So the ideal overtake spots I found were 1, 6, 7, 9, and 10. These are pretty safe spots, I feel like. However, of course, beware the AI in 2 through 4, through 8 there, and 11 gets a little tight, and the AI, as usual, overbrake quite a lot. So be careful if you're going for a clean race bonus. Next, the American Sainte Cup 600. 3 laps at Grand Valley Highway 1 Reverse. Road cars from the US, obviously suggested for 600 performance points. And I'm going to use another build of mine. That's the Ford Sierra RS 500 Cosworth. You may have seen that in the Millennium Motors this past week. No setups this time around, as I'm still kind of working on that. But that's not going to stop us from doing a bit of a lap around and showing you how to get on this place. So, here we go. So we're right up here, and we start with this tunnel. That's gotta be tricky driving something like this without traction control there. Here's what I'm doing here. So I brake, 4th gear just to be safe. Try to maintain the throttle a bit there, because the car kind of wiggles a bit. Going around the bridge, go through there. The right to 2nd is what I do for turns 4, 5. They'll come across another tunnel at 6. Let's keep that in 2nd gear. And they accelerate right about here across this bridge. As you get down here, we'll start braking right at the 200 mark. 2nd gear for turn 7. Keep that in 2nd. And then through 8. Again, still maintain that. And then accelerate right on over as you around this overpass here. As we come up to turn 9, again, 2nd gear. I'll keep that close to the sand there. And turn 10. And some tricky sections in 11 and 12. And 3rd to this. Now keep it 3rd here, because I can actually control a bit. And just fine. Now we're coming up to 14. 2nd gear, keep that pretty close there. Accelerate on out. Right about here. On the full power. Of course, I tend to go for the throttle just a little bit right here, just to make sure I don't send myself out. And then back on the throttle here, and I'm very ginger on the steering input. 15, 16, 17, and then turn 18, second gear, and then we accelerate right on out. And it's just a big acceleration blast downhill, and that is a lap around Grand Valley Highway 1 reverse. So now, onto the race itself. So, the best overtaking spots I found were turns 1 through 3, 6 and 9, 15 through 18. Of course, you want to be where the AI is 4 through 5, as well as 10 through 14. They tend to be bunching up quite a lot, and of course, braking a lot as usual, unnecessarily. So, if you're trying to go for a clean race bonus, be aware of that. Next, Ferrari Circuit Challenge. This is a 5-lap race at Autodromo Nazionale Monza. Of course, a Ferrari model, 700 performance points or less. And basically, as long as it's on the Ferrari, it's all good. So I'm choosing, after a long while, this 296 GTB. I turned to a challenge car build because a lot of straightaway speed. So this felt like the better option instead of the 458 I usually use. So here we are, coming out of the final corner, across the start-finish straight here, and we start the lap. And braking, very important for this place because you're going to be doing it quite a lot. So I tend to brake right about before the 200 mark, get to second gear, and use a lot of that curving there, but I don't touch that inside one. Then accelerate on that curve, on to full power here. I want to get that car nice and squared up for this corner. So just right on over, right here, right before that 100 mark there. And again, use that curve and use that one. Pretty safe to do in a production based car. Third gear, fourth. And then for Lesmo 1, third gear, accelerate right on out. And Lesmo 2, back down to third gear. I tend to use that curving. You know, maybe you might not want to do it, but that's what I tend to prefer to do. And then we accelerate all the way downhill here, and we're going to be going to the Ascari chicanes here. We'll brake right about there. Third gear through 8. Slowly accelerate through 9. And then through 10. And get down this long back straightaway right here. And probably time to set yourself up for the braking zone. It's going to be very tricky, but brake right there before the 100 mark. Third gear. I'm sort of floating on the accelerator before I gradually put it down, and then come out of the corner and get a run. And then that's a lap around Monza. So let's get to the race. So, best spots we're overtaking, turns 1, 3 through 5, and 11. The AI usually are pretty clueless to stop you from utilizing those, but beware of them in turns 2, 6, and 7, as well as 8 through 10. Again, they bunch up, and at a place like this where, you know, maintaining momentum and a run is important, that's going to ruin your lap, ruin your clean race bonus too if you get really unlucky. Next, the World Touring Car 800. 6 times tire wear, and, well, 6 times fuel use and 4 times tire wear at Circuit de Sainte-Croix A layout. It's that 800 performance points or less. You can use a Group 3 car, but really just whatever is in that 800 performance points bracket. And since I'm not here for the challenge, I'm here for the money, I choose the McLaren F1 GTR race car again. Just to get through this is not my favorite circuit, as you'll see. We won't do a lap here either, but racing mediums tend to be the ideal tire to start this race with. One stop is the usual strategy here. We're going a bit of short shifting or a few laps for each lap 6. A no snout might be doable, but requires different kind of driving and some racing hearts just to last. So again, you could use a car like mine if you just want to get this over with. You could use a Group 3 car if you want it to get challenging, whatever, it's on the 800. And finally, the special event time trial at Weathertech Raceway Laguna Seca featuring the Shelby GT350. And so, all it matters is just choosing whichever one of these you want and on. And the best tips I can give is second gear is going to come very handy, as well as braking early. Particularly this part under the bridge here, brake early, carry some momentum, and don't accelerate too hard. And that's another thing, don't accelerate too hard on these sections, because it's very easy to spin this thing out. So that is it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed this, whether you've just logged in or you haven't logged in quite some time. If you enjoy these, then give it a like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to tick the bell icon so you'll be notified when these go up Fridays at 1 p.m. So, without further ado, that is it for me. Rest in peace, Kyle Busch, and I will see you in the next video.